Before the episode, we have a couple quick announcements. One is that BookCon is coming up and we will be at it. So if you're planning on heading to Book Expo or BookCon, please come say hi to us. And if you want to see the events that we'll be at, whether it's conventions all over the country or events that we are planning and hosting, you can find them all on our calendar on the homepage at sartorialgeek.com. We also have some Patreon sponsors to thank. And honestly, we just wanted to take a second to acknowledge and appreciate all of the sponsors that have supported the Sartorial Geek. So many things that we're currently doing or want to do are only possible because of our sponsors, and we genuinely cannot thank you enough. If you haven't been to our Patreon lately, we have really leveled up our rewards. So if you want to check them out, you can head to patreon.com/sartorialgeek. I think my favorite one that we have just recently added is that for our $5 and up patrons, we added a VIP collection of Jordandene merch that's either not yet released products or discontinued products that aren't available on the website. They're only available via a special link and password that you get if you are a $5 and up patron. So that's something that I'm very excited about. If you are a Jordandene fan, that's the place to go to check that out. So this week we want to thank Kate, Erin, Amy, Kaylee, Shelby, Allison, Jennifer, Bria, Tiffany, and Megan. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate your support, and enjoy the episode. Today's episode is sponsored by Kith and Kin Travels. Dina at Kinship Vacations helps geeky families plan vacations all over the world. She takes the stress out of traveling by doing things like booking your flight, handling your hotel, planning guided tours and dining reservations, and everything you need to have a great vacation. She also understands traveling with kids, so if you're planning a vacation with a family, you definitely want someone like Dina in your corner to make sure everything runs smoothly. To book your next vacation with Dina, head to kithandkintravels.com and follow Kith and Kin Travels online. Hey, welcome to the Sartorial Geek podcast. I am Jordan Ellis of Jordandene, and I'm here with our co-editor, Liz Crowder-Sirota.
What's up?
And we have a special guest back again, all the way from episode 4, Joey Ellis.
What's up, guys?
How did we ever find him?
What's up, guys?
Nothing has changed in the past year at all. We were just talking about how Joey was on episode 4 or something, talking about Batman, and he was very hungover.
So are we all, though.
Well, he was most notably,
or
noticeably. And then today we're recording at the nighttime, and he got about 4 hours of sleep last night. So
at the nighttime,
we just only get low energy Joe forever, but that's okay
because it's at the nighttime now. And last time it was at the morning time.
That's true.
I'll do my best.
Someday we'll do like a
afternoon.
We'll do an afternoon recording when everyone is at their peak energy.
I'm not at my peak in the afternoon. I probably peak at about 10 a.m.
Oh, no.
From like 10 to 11, I'm like on top of my shit. And then I'm just
that's not going to work.
The worst for the rest of the day.
Well, then the three of us will never be on the same schedule.
No.
Which
it's
is
just
fine.
It's not going to happen.
If anyone listening does not know who Joey is, he actually is the designer of literally everything at Jordandene. So for all the people who compliment me on designs or ask me for things, I surely don't do any of that.
Jordan can't draw.
Nope. Actually, so we had an art party. We had a Sartorial Geek art party with our friend Jessie Farnella, and I just posted stuff to the website, like photos and like about the event, and I was not peer pressured to try to draw, but I did try to draw, and it was a real treat, and you can see how that went.
I didn't see yours. I saw all the really good ones.
Well,
I didn't see yours up there.
Mine was maybe I hid them. I actually don't know. Okay, so our art party, it was like a drink and draw, but it was during the day, so we weren't doing so much drinking. And
you can drink
Jesse,
that.
yeah, I mean, we did, but Jesse had a cool idea to theme it around Endgame because that just came out, so it was a lot of like Infinity Gauntlet and Thanos stuff. And so I found a bunch of like drawing tutorials on Pinterest that I had up on my phone, and I drew like different cartoon villains as Thanos, which basically just meant coloring them purple and like putting the glove on their hand. And then I drew Star-Lord and Gamora as Scott Pilgrim and Ramona Flowers.
That sounds complicated.
Well, no, it wasn't, because they're all cartoons, so I basically just copied them.
Did you trace, Jordan?
I didn't trace, but I found tutorials that were like, draw a circle, then draw a rectangle.
Oh, honey.
And then Joey drew the most glorious.
Of course he did.
Oh, man. Tell them what you drew.
It is Batman holding Mjolnir and also with the Infinity Gauntlet on.
And I bet it looks proper.
It looks awesome. So we weren't planning to do this, but so Joey drew that, and then everyone drew cool stuff, but Joey's was like outstanding, and then Jesse drew like the greatest pun ever.
Of course.
It actually wasn't the Hamburglar from McDonald's. It was, what Grimace is that? The purple guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he drew him with a hamburger helper hand that was like the Infinity Gauntlet, and he drew him as Thanos, like with Thanos' face. So it was like the Hamburglar helper kind of. And they're both so great. So we made them into merch, so you can actually buy t-shirts or mugs or pillowcases with their weird art.
They look really good though. So.
Yeah, you can go to sartorialgeek.com and hit the shop button. And so that's a hilarious thing. That was very unexpected, but very fun.
Back to your drawings though. Will we see them?
Oh, I mean, I know where they're in. I made a Facebook album that has like every photo that I took.
Because no one's gonna look there.
Mm-hmm.
Put them on Instagram, Jordan. Put them on Instagram.
Fine, go to Instagram and they'll be there.
Go to Instagram.
Fine, I'll show you all.
And I will repost them so nobody misses them. I can't wait. Oh my god. Jordan, that's what coloring books are for the people who can't draw.
I had a coloring book, and then so this was my doing. I was happily coloring away in my coloring book, and I was like, you know what? I really wish that I had kept drawing. Like, I used to draw when I was a kid, and I was like, I really wish that I kept doing it so I would be good now. And everyone was like, what better time than the present?
Plenty of better times when you're in private, when no one can see you, when you're not surrounded by professionals.
Yeah, that was a lot of pressure.
Lord of mercy.
Like, copy, paste.
Someone wanted to mock you, I think. Whose idea? Joey, was it your idea?
It was not.
It was Jesse's, and he was being very earnest and supportive.
He was
only kind about it the whole time.
He's so polite. So polite.
I know, it was really lovely of him. But if you live in or around New York, and this sounds like a great time, anyone can come to the next one. We have the event is already up on our Facebook page. You can just come.
And we only mock Jordan. We won't mock you. So.
Yeah, only me. I'm the brunt of everything. I actually was like, this is fine. I will make everyone else feel the most comfortable in their drawing abilities, because I'm literally sitting here with my phone out with like a kindergarten tutorial of how to draw things. But, practice makes something.
Does it? Is that how it goes?
I don't know. Sure. Well, this is not a lead into the topic that we
space.
We were meaning for this to be about something totally else. I should have assumed if the two of you were on together, it would just end up being something making fun of me.
Sorry, honey.
I'm not doing much making fun of you. I'm just hanging out.
Joey's not trying to get into trouble, but
it's okay.
I am. Well, so you can yell at me.
I'm not yelling at anyone. It's totally fine.
No, it's probably going to get yelled at anyways because I'm doing it. So let me tone it. I'm going to tone it all the way down.
No. I love it. This is the best.
Jordan, you're a great artist.
Nope. I don't accept that. But so our Patreon, I think it's $10 and up. Our Patreon supporters get like a live video every month. So the first one was you and me, Liz, and Dan, our lovely editor, and we were mostly just like
it was nonsense
talking about Schitt's Creek because I just started watching it. And we were 100%. It was a Sunday. We had just come from brunch.
Certainly,
that was great.
Certainly.
And then last month, Joey was on and talking about Supercluster, which is a super cool space company that he and his partners have just started up. And so we thought it'd be fun to let everyone in on this cool space stuff.
Space stuff. Is that your tagline, JoJo?
Cool space stuff.
Yeah. Close enough. Sure.
No.
That's right.
Not it. Actually, not that far off, I guess.
Yeah. It's space stuff.
No, we'll say that.
We have a couple.
The hashtag is spaces for everyone.
Yes.
Okay. Support that.
I like that too. Yeah.
Trying to make space accessible to everyone.
But what are your other ones?
In a variety of ways. I actually don't know if we have any actual official taglines quite yet.
But we just made you one.
Trying to be.
Wait, what was it? Cool space stuff?
Cool space stuff. No, we're trying to.
He's not taking this.
Right. What are some other notions that we have? We are trying to make new fans in space. We are trying to tell humanity's greatest stories,
which I like that one.
Are kind of the human side of space exploration and space research. And I don't know. We have we're sort of not settling on one tagline as of yet, but we have some things that we care about, and those are a few of them.
So you're like Red Bull.
We are,
which is a drink, but also their marketing is insane.
Sure. Yeah, we have a range.
You're the Red Bull of space. Joey's face right now. He can't stop blinking and does not know what I just said.
I'm not sure if that metaphor works, but I'll go with it. Yeah, it's great.
Well, you guys have a lot of things. So, like, there's a website, which has stories, like you were just saying, but then also has other cool things. Like right now, there's a launch tracker, which is all the rocket launches all over the world, right?
Yeah, so
because I said it wrong the last time we did something.
We are tracking every launch of every rocket that we know of, and I think it's kind of hard to make them secret.
Yeah, hopefully there are nice secret rocket launches.
Yeah, because they're pretty visible and loud.
No one
so
secret
we track
rockets launching all over the world.
We track all of them, and we put them into one simple, easy to use web page at the moment, but ideally one day an app. We're working towards that. But yeah, currently just a website that you can go to, and there's always a countdown to the very next one, and they are happening all the time, all over the world. But many of them are in the U.S., in Florida, also in California and Virginia.
And if you're trying to go to one, make sure you buy a one-way ticket so that you don't do what we did, which is go and then change your flight once, and then actually you changed your flight twice. Yes. And then still missed it by like 3 days.
Because of weather?
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, weather, and also, space is hard. Missions are tough. Rocket science is, they're getting really good at it, but it's, they always prioritize safety. And so
for sure,
things get scrubbed and get moved, and that's just the nature of the beast. But in addition to, giving you the resources, we have viewing guides, like the resources to see rocket launches in person. We also have all of the live streams, if there is one, linked on the site. So if you go to our site, you'll see a live stream. We also have...
of old ones too, right?
You can go and see all of the old ones in reverse chronological order. And you can see what rocket it launched on, what was on top of it, if there was a person, or if there was a satellite or a collection of satellites, or if there's something super secret. We list that too. We just don't know what it is, which does not just happen quite often as well. We're trying to build a super in-depth database for the past, but also for looking forward to give people resources to check out interesting space-related things.
Can you talk about the thing you're working on, or is that a secret?
It's a secret still.
Okay, just kidding. Joy will be back to talk about something else that
sort of a secret, yeah,
is not out yet.
Yeah, maybe I could step back and just say generally the things that we're working on are space stories, and they can take the form of written stories, editorials. They can take the form of videos or podcasts. Which
you have a podcast. Now. That's great.
Do you have a podcast?
We do.
Joey is not the host of.
I was going to say, is he very low energy on it?
No, we actually have a lot of professionals on. Robin, one of my partners, is on most of the podcasts, and he is a space reporter. And that's
a real job.
It sure
is. Yes, it is.
He's one of the best, and he works for us, and it's awesome.
That's amazing.
And he has invited other space reporters on, also experts who live down near Cape Canaveral to talk about space news. So we've got some. We're trying to make it. Obviously, we're fans. I'm a fan. I'm a artist and a designer, but always been super interested in space and science fiction. So we're sort of channeling our fandom into this project, and so we're trying to be for fans and sort of people already bought in, and kind of everyone in between. And so, I'd say we're trying to cover off on a range of topics from space news to upcoming stuff to past stories to things you never heard of that happen in and around space or space exploration. And we're giving people tools like our launch tracker. So we have utilities and we have stories, and we are hoping to host events in the future at launches. So we're kind of trying
to have merch too.
We have merch as well. So we're trying to do a full court press on making space interesting and accessible to everyone.
That's amazing.
Tell us your favorite story.
Tell me.
Well, I mean, one of, I guess.
Oh, our editorial stories?
The one that you were LOL.
So just to give you an example, one of our stories that's up on the site right now that you can go check out technically it's about trying to communicate with aliens. That's sort of the early days of SETI and kind of the various cast of characters involved in that project, which is the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. And that project has been going on for a few decades now. But at one point, one of the main researchers thought that it would be worth trying to explore how to communicate with extraterrestrial intelligence by communicating with the intelligences that are here on Earth. So he started to try to communicate with dolphins, which was super interesting. And at some point started giving them LSD, started taking LSD while trying to communicate with them.
That was his plan. He was maybe if we're both high on the same thing, our brain waves will work.
Here's my question. Did it work?
Inconclusive.
Unclear.
No.
Yes. Yeah, it's not totally clear that it worked or didn't work.
How good is your reporting and like your documentation of your data when you're high on LSD?
I think that there was always someone sober during these trips, and so one of the research assistants would be
it's like a note taker.
Primarily one of the other researchers was taking LSD and with the dolphins. He took LSD himself, but everybody was just tripping.
Wait, but then say the second part of the story that's also very crazy.
There's more?
Yeah.
Which part?
One of his assistants, I think female assistant,
died.
Right? No. He was like, okay, so let's try something even more extra. Live with a dolphin for a while and see if that works.
Water.
In a pool.
They built a pretty large tank.
That was her house.
They hung out together many, many hours of every day.
Did she sleep down there?
I don't think that's possible. She probably would have drowned. I guess, but she spent most of her days.
So she died. Is what you're telling me?
No, she's totally fine. She might be dead now. I'm not. I need to check.
She was
also high. She was also high.
I mean,
living in a pool.
Questionable.
But anyway, the sort of obviously that's a pretty ridiculous and silly story, but the intent is really interesting and sort of opens up a lot of questions about how we would communicate with an extraterrestrial intelligence. But we can start with the ones that we have here, the dolphins, and also various primates and elephants, and the more intelligent mammal
whales
that we have.
Nothing.
Whales, I don't know if there's been any big concerted efforts to try and communicate with whales, but we definitely have dolphins, obviously, and also primates and
cool
elephants, maybe, but
probably elephants, I would say.
Sure.
What about pigs?
I don't know if there's been any efforts to communicate with pigs.
Yeah, because we eat them, and it's weird.
Yeah, they're very, very intelligent.
I know. I just hate thinking about that because sometimes I eat bacon. And I just don't want to think about a pig is like a dog. And I'm like, please don't say that.
No,
pigs are smarter than us.
They're way, way smarter.
That's what I'm saying.
Really,
and we have
really
dogs as pets.
Yes,
I know. I'm well aware.
They grieve for their family.
They do.
It's really
whales
dark.
do too.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't ever eat pigs, but yeah. Anyway.
Don't
ignoring that.
You're not a vegetarian.
Neither of us. Only plants.
No, I should be. I just like
the taste of meat.
Yeah.
Same.
Ethically, I totally am behind it.
Oh yeah, logically it makes sense to my brain. Emotionally, totally makes sense to me. Environmentally. And then I'm like, but I'm anemic.
Yep.
I need a cheeseburger.
Just wait till we get all these super science meat for the future.
Yeah, I just watched a video on that.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. And that's the way we're going. The way we're eating now is not sustainable.
No.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely not. What else? What else can I tell you about?
Supercluster might be doing something cool with another company that, that the owner is sitting right here.
Jordan's the owner.
Make some merch together. Maybe we aren't. I don't know.
What is this mystery guest?
I'll play.
So we're gonna
question mark about this thing.
So like Jordan said, we have merch and we have we don't have a big store as of yet, but we will be looking to add to it in the future, and hopefully we'll do a collab with Jordan soon on something that makes. I think we just need to find the right moment, the right story to do it around, the right sort of conceptual basis to do
everyone who's been asking me for more space stuff. It's coming. Don't you worry.
What kind of merch do you currently sell, Joey?
We have a few t-shirts. We also.
But if you were asking me, like,
What's
different? What are you doing right now?
Have some patches that are sort of like mission patch inspired things. We have a launch viewing guide and poster that we made for the most recent Falcon Heavy, which is a rocket that launched about a month ago now in Florida. But
the one that we didn't see.
Yeah, the one that I didn't see in person, but went down there for. We made this really rad poster. And on one side, it's sort of it's a cool abstract illustration of the rocket. And on the other side, it's this really large map of all of the viewing areas.
That's awesome.
Where you can check out rockets from in Cape Canaveral. So we are selling that.
And you have free computer background, like desktop.
Downloadables.
Yeah.
Cool. Well. And more.
Did you say t-shirts?
Yeah. More stuff to come in the future.
Awesome.
And you have an Instagram?
Yes.
What is it?
All of our social handles are Supercluster HQ.
Cool. Sorry for yelling.
What is it? We tried to get Supercluster, but we couldn't on all the handles. So HQ was a good.
That's rough.
Backup. Consistency is key.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to confuse people. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're sort of still working on kind of like building up both of those things. On Twitter, there's more like newsy stuff that's more current and timely. And then on Instagram, we're trying to post videos and then also kind of like things, cool imagery and posters around either launches or astronomical events that are happening in a highly designed and like sort of like an interesting aesthetic that's kind of surprising for the space world. So check it out. I'm
gonna follow you.
Like, comment, and
there's
so on.
a YouTube also.
So we have YouTube, but more of for now it's just a place to hold a couple videos that we've done. We don't have like a consistent YouTube presence.
We don't either. It's okay.
We have as of right now.
We have
be cool.
13 videos with like 6 views.
Some makeup tutorials.
We have aspirations to make kind of like channel specific content. Like have the kinds of stuff that would make sense on YouTube and it's just sort of each of those places kind of require like a lot of focus and we want to do it right. So
for sure.
We're kind of like, we've started with, most of the content right now is split between the launch tracker work and the editorial story. So that's kind of the bulk of stuff, but there's ancillary stuff as well that is bubbling up and growing all the time as we sort of figure this out as we go.
Yeah, amazing.
Well, Liz and I don't know anything about that, so
nope.
No idea what it's like to transcribe something that you for sure don't know what it's supposed to be yet.
Sure. I think part of it is just starting. And well, I think we're also lucky that we have some really amazing partners and people who are contributing so far, some great writers, obviously a bunch of like great designers on the sort of from Grand Army side, Grand Army is my company, and we're sort of we're
really good at what you do.
Yeah, to be
brag for you.
Modest, thank you. So we're kind of mixing those two worlds together and seeing what happens.
It's going to be wildly successful. I can feel it in my bones.
Oh, thank you, Liz.
Oh, you're welcome.
Liz and I are super fans of all of those things. So this was like, this is something that we both love. Liz and I took
space class. We took a
space class together. We took it was cosmology and then we didn't take astronomy at the same time, did we?
I didn't take astronomy.
Oof,
I was probably taking mathematical ideas for the second time.
Actually, no, I think you were studying abroad when I took it.
Oh, for sure.
We took a class. Did you know anything about space before that class?
I was interested in it. I knew a little bit because I was super homeschooled. and you can't
Yeah,
be
me
super
too, but I
homeschooled
knew-
without learning about space. They're obsessed with it.
I was.
Well, Joey knew about space.
I knew about space, but also, mostly through my science fiction fandoms.
That was the problem.
Which
I
maybe
wasn't
was
into
where I got
sci-fi.
a lot of it from too, now that I think about it.
I was into like Star Wars, which doesn't teach you a lot about like.
But it's still in
Science
space,
space.
so you're on the right
totally.
track.
I was close.
It's under the
Just
ocean.
barely missed it.
Yeah, no, so we took a space class.
And it was great.
Got to see a lot of stuff.
Actually, it was
In an
awesome.
observatory a lot. Yep.
Yeah, our college didn't have like a ton of really super cool and expensive stuff, but we had a really sweet telescope.
It was amazing.
Yeah, and we got to take pictures of like the moon and stars.
Well, what much more than the moon.
Yeah,
But
the moon was a cool one because it was close.
It's just kind of surprising. Most people haven't really looked through a high-powered telescope, but if you ever get the chance, just look up at the moon in a really a solid, not even a great telescope. It's amazing. It's crazy. You've seen pictures of the moon, obviously, but when you see it in person, you're like, oh, that's the moon. I can see it with my bare eyes, or
It's
with
insane.
in real time.
Also,
With the aid of this telescope.
We were just in New Zealand,
amazing.
and the moon over there, it's like, I don't want to be wrong, so I won't say it's a different side of the moon.
No, because it rotates.
Yeah, okay.
It's upside down though. You were right.
Okay.
Halfway right.
So
I didn't know that. I just got the Joey.
I've never ever in my life seen it like that. And it might be because there's not so much light pollution. I don't know, but it was bigger than my full head, and you could see. It was like you were looking through a telescope, but you weren't.
I've never been to the Southern Hemisphere. I don't think I haven't either.
It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I went to we did our space class, and we went to Cherry Springs. Andrew's dad has a telescope, so we brought it, and that's a dark sky reserve, and so we were looking at the moon there too, and I've never, and it was like my bare eyes. I've never seen it look so cool. Yeah, you gotta go to New Zealand.
Guys, I'm not sure if a lot of people listening are from cities or not, but if you can get out into the wilderness and have a telescope, it's pretty incredible.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And if you're in Pennsylvania, go to Cherry Springs and just camp, and they have telescopes for you.
What?
And they do a little class for you. And it's amazing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
cool.
It's so cool. We went camping. We stayed for 2 nights. It was, I've never seen so many stars. And then I went to New Zealand, and then I was like, oh.
Maybe that's a better vacation.
But definitely, you should still go to Cherry Springs because it's amazing.
Well, I'm sure I could make it there sooner than I could make it to New Zealand. So that's a good in between
recommendation. Yeah, if you can't get to New Zealand, come to Pennsylvania.
It's second best to New Zealand.
It's basically the same.
Liz Crowder approved.
You can come to my house, and it's like Hobbiton.
Yeah,
And then it's the same.
So
yeah, it's the
that
same.
is true.
Yeah.
Do you have any more space questions, Liz?
I don't think so. I really want Joey to eat dinner. I'm really worried about him.
It's not here yet.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
it's not the podcast's fault. It's our delivery's fault.
No, I don't think I do.
Yeah, me neither. Well, if anyone listening is a fan of space, which I feel like a very high percentage of people are.
Yeah, we're going to be living there in 5 years, all of us.
Yeah, that would be
Fingers crossed.
Great.
This world is going.
Hopefully. Except I did just watch Apollo 13 for the first time.
It's a great movie.
Yes. Well, the reason it took me over 30 years to watch it was because people getting lost in space really stresses me out. And guess what the whole movie is?
It shouldn't stress you out that much.
Sweating.
I'm claustrophobic, and space is massive, but the thought of being on like a tiny little, you can only breathe in like this one area, and then the rest you're just doomed. And I can still watch space movies. So,
well, I don't know what is wrong with my brain because I cannot.
It's scary to think about how small you are.
Yes, I think the scariest thing, it's the same thing as I'm very, very scared of like the ocean too. I think it's the not being able,
terrifying.
Yeah, I think it's the not being able to breathe, and then space has another level of like, you could just get like pushed the wrong way and then you're lost forever.
Also though, so much of space is unexplored. And I feel like so much of the ocean is also unexplored, but we know enough about the deep sea to like know what's down there floating beneath your feet while you're swimming through the waves. And like that is scarier to me. The knowledge that those like creepy fish with the little antenna that look like roaches are just like down there somewhere in the dark lurking. That's scarier to me than the great unknown.
So he's upset with both of us because those are his two favorite things in the world.
I think it's fascinating. I just also think it's gross.
This might be a random thing, but are you guys familiar with Sequest?
No, what's that?
It's like a show from maybe late 80s, early 90s, and it's like basically exploring the deep sea in like a super high-tech submarine.
Is it fantasy or is it legit?
No, it's basically like Star Trek underwater, but in contemporary times. I think it was set like maybe mildly in the future at the time that it came out. And there's a talking dolphin, and it's awesome. And,
I have not seen this show.
Yeah.
What's it called? Sequest?
Sequest.
I'm gonna watch it.
Amazing. I mean, it might not be good. I only saw it when I was a kid, but I loved it.
Still gonna watch it. I'll report back, and I'll harass you if need be. I do also want to add that I love the ocean. It just scares me, which I feel like is fine. I feel like it's smart to be scared of things.
I love it, and I'm scared of it.
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying. The waves are so powerful. If you go down deep enough, it just crushes you. Like nature is scary, man. Mm-hmm. And it's going to outlive us. Nature's going to outlive us. We're going to be dead, and the plants will still be living.
We will be plants.
Yeah.
Well, this podcast is over because it's about to take a turn. This is going to be just Joey talking about how our molecules turn into plants eventually.
I mean, don't they though?
Yeah, we could do that on another episode.
We're all
get real weird.
Stuff,
yeah,
we're true. All yes, we are
born in the stars, end up in the dirt.
We're all pieces of trash, is what Joey's trying to say.
Have amazing experiences in between.
While you still can, because your life could be over tomorrow.
Oh God,
it's true.
This got so dark.
You might die before you listen to this podcast. Think about that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening to our darkest episode ever.
Yeah.
Have a nice day, everyone.
Yes. If you want to or don't, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Well, follow Supercluster, HQ, all the places.
Do it.
Follow Sartorial Geek, all the places.
Definitely
and also the summer issue is coming out soon, and then the fall issue will be about space. So if you like this, hang out for our fall magazine. It's going to be real sweet.
Yeah, very on brand for this current discussion. A little lighter. It'll be a little lighter.
It'll be, yep. But yeah, cool.
We love space.
Cool.
Cool space stuff.
Cool space
Thank
stuff.
you. Cool space stuff. Sick.
Have a good week, everyone.
Yeah, whatever.
And stay nerdy.
Yeah,
and,
stay nerdy.
We'll talk to you later.
Bye. Joey, say bye.
Bye.
You tried to make it the shortest bye.